the Boobs McGinty, Rachel, the one, the only, Lapalosa.
Hey.
And today we're talking about, are you a realized self? I don't know. Are you? Am I? I don't know. But the thing is, it's worth talking about because when we're talking about personality type, we're ultimately talking about people who behave in certain ways for certain reasons. And whether or not that serves them is a separate question.
Mm-hmm. True.
I have heretofore on a number of occasions indicated.
Dolan!
I heretofore on a number of occasions indicated I don't like terms that indicate an arrival point, such as actualized, realized, or enlightened, or I don't know, special in some way, like black belt in spirituality. As a general rule, I call bullshit on that stuff. So I use the word realized here primarily to, on the one hand, to dismiss the notion of being realized and to point out that people are functioning in a more or less optimal state. Hi, Eileen. In a more or less optimal state. That there's nobody who reaches the destination of sort of spiritual awareness and doesn't ever go back from that. And that everybody reaches moments of greater and less sort of ontological comfort. And really that's what enlightenment and all that crap really is those are words that describe states of ontological comfort. A person who is enlightened purportedly does not suffer from the same sort of uncertainty and anxiety that the rest of us normal peons do, right? Well, it's one of the reasons why I hate the idea of enlightenment. I just despise it. It's like it makes the process of self-growth some sort of win-loss competition. I realize the chasm between my expectations and the reality of it all. Does that mean you're realized? Or just that you did realize?
Normalized. Don't it make me feel that?
Congratulations, you've been normalized. ENFPs are not dead inside.
No, they are not. And they should really remember that. I just always think of Robin Williams and I just like hugs all around.
Well, as I've said before, and I just started going down this path and I'll revisit it, is the idea of optimization. Saying that you are optimizing implies that you're moving towards a more optimal state of being, which presumably would be less encumbered by troubles, anxieties, fears, shames, pains, worries, whatever. And it also suggests that as a being, one goes between stages of optimality, more or less optimality. There are stages in my life where my nature and being are not the optimal way to deal with those circumstances. And so if I'm compelled to deal with those circumstances much of the time, I'm going to be functioning non-optimally. It's also the case that, I might encounter circumstances that are conducive to my functionality, but be missing some certain components and still not be functioning optimally.
Mm-hmm.
So normalization, by the way, means being able to be compared against a standard or norm. That's what makes standardized tests standardized, or is that they all refer to the same standard. How can we realize something if this something isn't even real? Well, look, the thing is, you have an expectation that you think it needs to be met before something qualifies as real. And that expectation is stasis, basically. You expect something to have object permanence and to not evolve as an entity over time. You expect systems to be receptive to static analysis if you're going to deem them concrete enough to be real. But of course, your experience that you feel, whether it's getting, food poisoning and having horrible stomach cramps, or having your heart broken, or delighting in the opportunity to speak at the Oscars or something, or whatever emotion it is that you're talking about. Those things are certainly real because they're experienced as such. It's difficult to deny the reality of the pain of a broken arm.
Yeah. Yeah. And people do. I don't know.
The thing is, to realize the self is a weird term, and it's not one that really I've ever used regularly before this video right here. But I don't know what made me use that word, but I did. The answer to the realization thing, self-realization implies that there's potential unrealized, or there's truths about the self or understanding of the self that's necessary in the creation of the self that haven't been understood yet. People see everything as binary, seem unconscious, not self-aware. I mean, the thing is, for people who operate primarily in an expectation frame, binaries are very important. And this is something that Rachel and I were talking about over lunch, is that we had, as part of our conflict the other day, a discussion about words versus actions. And me saying, you can know what reality is going to be because I've told you with my words. And her saying, actions prove realities to me. The weird thing is, we weren't actually in conflict with each other at all. It was echoes of past problems that sort of seemed similar to what we were doing, but they really weren't.
Mm-hmm.
So, why does the ability to manipulate something, Eileen, make it less real? And why does even if you're right that the antecedent of feelings are just chemical reactions, how does having that as an antecedent make it less real? I've never said INFPs are the most physical of the types, for sure. The most physical of the types is ISFP. ISFP is the most physical.
Yeah, they are.
ISTJ is equally physical to ISFP. Both of them have... No, I'm sorry. I'm mistaken. You're right. ISTJs are most physical. The ISFP is like the INTP or the ENFJ. Very physical, but not as physical as the most physical.
What about ESFPs? I know a lot of dancers who are ESFPs.
All right, it goes like this. ISTJs go physical, SI, TE physical, FI physical, NE metaphysical. Same with ISFJs. They go, and I'm sorry, not ISFJs. Same with, should be one more type that also does that. And it would be, because if you say everything is Mia, then nothing's not Mia, and it's all just a wash. You have to say, if you're going to go with an everything links back to Mia, will be fine. Or everything cascades down from Mia, will be okay. But everything is Mia, no. What's going on? Is it not working? Oh, fucking hell.
No, are we back?
My dad told me I needed to reset the internet. I didn't.
It's refreshed.
It's the blinky thing.
That's right.
Booster thing. I gotta fix the booster thing.